Play is the Thing with your host, Judy Sleed. Special guest, Dave Brandman. Now here is Judy.
Love me in bed.
Oh, thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction.
That's
Hi.
very nice.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Judy.
Maybe we should hail you. Here is Dave.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
And I discovered you at a ball game, the East Hampton All-Star game. You were filming it.
Yes, the Artists and Writers annual
Yes.
charity game.
Yes.
Right.
And you sounded like a very interesting person, so I decided to invite you.
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed our chat there that day, and hopefully Dave, when he films it, puts it together, we'll have a clip of that.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
had the camera on me
Yeah,
while we
yeah,
were
we did.
talking.
Yeah,
Yes.
and when we get the final part, hopefully we'll have a little bit of that on air when we make that show.
And I had your cousin. Is that your cousin?
My cousin.
On my show? And you two are doing, the whole family is doing
Yes.
that show.
A show called Talent Showcase that we film right here. We'll
Right,
be doing
and-
one this Friday, actually.
You're doing one this
This
Friday.
Friday
So
we're
what
filming.
is your part in that? What do you do there?
Now, I started off as just a cameraman, and now I'm doing the directing of the shows.
You are.
And my cousin's the host and the producer and the editor, and it's a fun thing. It's amazing how much talent is out there. You know? It is. When we first started doing it, we had auditions, and we thought, okay, it's going to be like American Idol, and we had open auditions, and I was hoping to be like Simon and like really zing some people, and it's like everyone's so talented. I was like, this is no fun. Everyone's good, and it is amazing some of the talent we have. You know, we've had 12-year-old songwriters and guitar players. It's like the next Eric Clapton. It's amazing. It's cool. The show's cool. You gotta.
So how do you get your talent?
We do some auditions. We advertise in the papers for people to come down to some auditions. We have a website, Talent Showcase, talent showcase. I'm sorry about that. Talentshowcase.net.
.net.
I believe it's .net. And on there you can find out how to apply. You can send us a video of yourself, and there's different
Oh,
ways.
so I could come. I could.
Do you have a
sing.
talent? Do you sing?
Of course, I sing. Yes.
We're always looking for singers. No, serious. That'd be great. Why not? Yeah.
Oh well, I have to think about that. I didn't sing.
What kind of music do you sing?
What
Some
kind
of the classics?
silly? No, I do silly things. I'm a comic.
Oh, that's no. You definitely should perform on our show then. A comic singer would
Yeah.
be great. That'd be nice. You know.
Yeah, I do things in a spur of the moment.
That's
When
always
it's
fun.
least expected and everybody's like amazed or shocked, whatever the word is.
Did you enjoy the ball game this summer?
Yes,
it was
this is
nice,
the first time I went.
That was your first time?
Yes.
Wow. I think this is the 64th one they've had.
Yeah, I
And-
lived here like all these years and never
A
went.
lot of fun, right?
Yeah,
You gonna
well,
be back next year?
Yeah, well, one of my friends is playing, and that's how I got to know to
Who's
go.
playing?
He's on the field. He's a good friend of mine.
You can't say his name?
Yeah, Blue. Not Alex. Blue.
Writer? Or artist?
No,
Was he on which
artist.
team?
He's
Was he
an
on artist? Okay.
Well, his son's name is Dylan.
Dylan.
And he's an actor. Dylan is an actor.
Okay.
And
Well, good. Hopefully you'll be there
oh my
next
gosh,
year.
his wife Sarah gonna kill me that I forgot his name.
I'm just the same with names. I'm so bad with names.
And that's how, because I'm very good friends with Sarah, and she told me, "Oh, my husband is going to play." So I even had trouble finding the field, which is just around the corner from me.
Oh, wow. Well, you'll be there next year, though. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
And next
And it
year's
was a
this.
beautiful day.
Oh, yes. We've had mostly good. Usually they get hot. It gets hot. It
Yes.
wasn't that hot that day. It was a nice day.
Yeah.
But next year's the 65th anniversary of that game. And this coming summer in June at Guild Hall, they're going to be having a whole display dealing with the history of the game. Some, people's pictures and books from writers of, all talking about the history of that game, for 65 years now.
Right.
So yeah.
But you are also a fireman.
Yes, New York City Fire Department for 27 years now.
Wow, New York City,
New York
that
City.
means you actually go to the city to work?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't live out here. I live in Setauket, so it's probably about
Yeah.
halfway between the two.
right.
So,
And
yes.
you work in the city and you work
In
here
Queens now. I started in Manhattan, and now I'm in Queens, by right by Flushing Meadow Park.
And what is your job there in the fire department?
Well, now I'm actually an aide to a deputy chief who's in charge of the chief's in charge of all of North Queens.
So what do you need to
So-
do?
Mostly I do a lot of administrative duties, and I drive the chief around to different meetings and fires. And at actual fires, I'm his eyes, second set of eyes, and a relay between units with him.
So you never met any danger? You never
Oh no,
really-
I used to fight fires for years.
You did?
Yes, yes.
How does it feel to go into a burning house or close to it?
Burning houses, burning buildings, your adrenaline's pumping. It's exciting, scary, at the same time. You're both, scared and excited because, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So you were lucky all these years.
Yes, I have.
Did you meet any, did you ever get burnt or inhaled smoke?
I haven't, no. I've been lucky in that respect. I've unfortunately lost quite a few friends, especially in 9/11.
Oh,
During
yeah.
that disaster, I lost quite a few friends that I worked with over the years. And, 27 years, a lot of people come and go. A lot of people retire, a lot of people have passed on. But it's a great job. It's great. I love being of help to people, helping them
Oh,
out.
yes, it's very
Yeah.
important. It's very important. So you're a fireman, you're a editor of the show, of your cousin's...
Director. My cousin does the editing, I do the
Oh,
directing.
I'm sorry.
That's no problem. Yeah.
And you told me something that you're going to try to take this a step further, whatever
The
that
show?
means. Yes. What are you planning
Yes,
on
my
doing?
cousin is definitely trying to elevate it up maybe another notch or two to get it into public TV or even regular TV eventually, maybe some cable channel.
And how do you propose to go about it?
Those questions I really can't answer to you because that's my cousin's
That's your
field.
cousin's.
Yeah, you'll have to get him back here to
Oh,
discuss that.
well, I thought you were planning on it with him.
No, I will help him in all he needs, and
Yeah.
we would do that. He's actually looking at also right now a documentary he's looking into doing, so I might help him with that.
A documentary with the shows he already done or
No,
something else?
it's a whole nother,
Another
nothing to do with the show. So
Oh,
yeah, he's very interested in the film process, and
uh-huh.
and I'm very interested in it too. So if we do the documentary, it'd be awesome to work with him together.
So how long
It's
does
just I don't know how, since we got the same name, how we're going to do the billing.
Oh, wow. You have to do something like number 1 and number 2.
Well, when we were young, it was always Big David, which was me, and Little David, and unfortunately, it's still that way.
Oh, Big David and Little
Yeah,
David.
because
It's
he's
funny that
3 years younger than me.
that was always in my corner because I have friends with I had friends, Judy, and I was always the little Judy.
Little.
There was the big Judy and little Judy. But nowadays, I think people don't have to worry about it because they don't use ordinary names lately.
No, yes, that's true. Some of these names are pretty crazy nowadays.
It's very different. They use different names. So,
Well, how many
Where-
years you been doing this show?
almost 10 years.
Wow. And I've
yes.
heard you've had so many different people on this show.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. And where were you born?
El Paso, Texas.
Oh, yes,
Texas, back in 1959.
My daughter was born in that year. One of my daughters.
Oh, so good year.
Yes, it was.
But she wasn't born in Texas.
No. Nobody.
But you have somebody living in Texas now, relative.
Well, my son got married, and he lived in Texas for a while, but now he's living here.
And did you ever visit him in Texas?
Oh, yes, I've been.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's a
I
great
did.
state.
Well, I only went to San Antonio.
Now,
maybe
San Antonio's
another-
nice.
Yes. So you were born there
Yes, but I left when I was like a year old.
all by
And I-
yourself?
It was too hot. I crawled away.
You grew away. So
Now, my
how-
dad was in the military, so I was a military brat in the early years, and we lived all around the country, actually. I grew up in many places before we settled here in New York when I was 12.
And you have any siblings?
I have a brother, younger brother.
And where does he live?
He's in Northport. He's a successful lawyer.
A lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah. And what about your dad? Is he still?
He's passed many years now.
Uh,
And yeah.
so where did you grow up? Oh, you said you went all over.
Yeah, I grew up, well, I lived in Texas, 2 places in Texas when I was young, 2 places in Pennsylvania, 2 places in Michigan, 2 places in Colorado. Lived out here in East Hampton when I was about 4 or 5 years old for about a year. Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
moved back away from here. And then we settled in Melville when I was in 12, back in like 1969.
So do you have any recollection where you went to school?
My early childhood memories aren't very vivid. I remember school in Michigan, and I remember schools in Colorado, because that's where we lived before we came to New York. And I always thought Colorado was great. I got back there about 10 years ago to go skiing, and went and looked up the house, saw the house I lived in, and it was like, oh, that was a lot of fun. You know, Colorado's a gorgeous state.
So what?
Did you grow up here on Long Island?
No.
No. Where? New York, right? Brooklyn.
No, I was in Hungary, in
Oh.
Budapest, Hungary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't get here until I was about 16.
16. Okay, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
We just, this past summer, my cousin was involved, actually, not so, October, not last summer. We just met some of our family distant relatives we've never met before, and found out we have common great-great-grandfather who was from the Ukraine, which would have been not that far from you, right?
Well, a good stone throw.
Okay, good stone throw, but
A good story if you have a good arm.
a good arm. But we just, we had a weekend in New York. They all came here, and we met. A lot of them live in England now.
They
Well,
came from.
no, a lot of them live now in England and in Montreal. But last year they actually took a trip to the Ukraine to visit there where our great-great-grandfather grew up. And they reached out, found us, and we met them all this past October.
That's wonderful.
It was a lot of fun, and next year they're all planning a reunion in Montreal that we're
So
going to
how
go
did
to.
you find it? Were you looking?
No, they found us.
Were they looking?
They were looking,
They
yeah.
were looking and they found
They
you.
knew there was a distant son that went off on his own, and they traced us through them. And
That was
was
your
pretty
father they
interesting.
were looking for, right?
my father's father, yeah.
Or your father's father?
Yeah. So, and then it was a lot of fun. We met 25, cousins and uncles, technically somehow related, and we had a weekend together. And I'm looking forward to next year's in Montreal.
That is a very interesting story.
Yes, it was a lot
Yes,
of fun.
yes.
I keep asking my aunt, my cousin's mom, we must have relatives somewhere besides us here on Long Island. And she said, yeah, we do somewhere, but we lost track. But luckily we found each other again. So.
You
That was
have
nice.
any? Oh, you said you have one brother,
One brother.
and
I have a daughter.
you have a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and where is she?
She's living up in New Paltz now. She just graduated college.
You're kidding, New Paltz.
Yeah. Why, you got connection in New Paltz?
Well, my daughter lived in when she was first married in Rosendale, which is a stone throw away from New
New Paltz. It's a nice
and,
town up there,
and
New
she
Paltz.
went to school there.
Oh, she went to school. That's where my daughter went to school. She graduated
Yeah.
and decided to stay there.
Yeah,
And,
that's
it's very nice up there.
nice.
Very
Yeah,
nice
it's
up there.
very quiet. It's
Yes.
so different.
And the city's still like, got that hippie flair from the 60s still a little bit, the little town.
Well, my
right?
daughter settled in Woodstock now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's because she first went to Rosendale. And when I used to say that to somebody, they said, what's a Rosendale? New Paltz. And they have that beautiful vacation spot in New Paltz.
Oh, the Mohawk
Yeah,
Mountain
yes.
Resort? Yeah, that is gorgeous, isn't it?
It is. I was there once or twice.
Did you stay there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I've only visited.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh, it is definitely.
They have the most beautiful rose gardens,
Yes.
whatever gardens.
I walked through the gardens. Yes.
Oh, and during the off season, they cover everything. Did you ever see them do that?
No, no.
They actually cover.
Cover what, the gardens? To
Yeah,
protect them? For the
yeah,
winter?
they
Okay.
cover them. Yes,
Nice.
I must have been there like in between seasons because I
Okay.
saw them do that.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a
a gorgeous
gorgeous-
old.
And the
wooden-
inside is very quaint.
Yes.
And
Yes.
but I always
No, yeah, I
talk
don't-
about it. It's so I'm giving them free advertisement.
I don't think any of the rooms have TVs. No TVs, right? It's very quiet, very
Yes.
laid back. It's
Yes.
Gorgeous wood,
Yes.
balconies and views of
It's
the
family
lake they
owned.
got there. Yeah, that's very nice.
It is.
Went hiking up there and almost got lost.
So how often do you go up there to visit, or she comes down to visit you?
Both now. She comes down to visit usually for holidays, and when she was going to school, I'd go up there at least every other month or so just to have lunch, see how she's doing. Now she's
Isn't
graduated.
that funny? When I was younger, I used to go every month
To visit
to
your daughter
visit. Yeah.
when she was going to school there.
Well, no, when she was because she settled there.
Oh, 'cause she
so
settled there,
I
yeah.
used to go every month, but now it's a big slap. So.
So you have grandchildren up there?
Well, she had two sons, and one is still there. The other one lives in Brooklyn.
Everyone gets to Brooklyn. As my aunt would say, everyone who means anything's from Brooklyn or
Yeah.
lives in Brooklyn.
Did you live there at one time?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
Yes, there was a spell of time when we were young and my dad was stationed in Alaska
Wow.
that we lived with my aunt in Brooklyn.
What part? What section? Do you remember?
Oh, she's going to kill me for this one, not remember totally where that was. Not far, north of Coney Island.
Flatbush? Because
No.
I lived in Flatbush.
Oh, did you, Flatbush?
At one time, yeah.
No.
I had very happy memories there. By the way, my friend's name is Russ Blue.
Russ Blue. Okay, I don't know him.
You don't know him?
Not by name, no.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names again. If I see him,
Yeah.
I mean, he was played in the game, so I might
Yeah.
I didn't, my cousin interviews a lot of the players. I do a lot of the people who are watching the show. So I usually do the audience. He does the actual, art. The
Well, I'm
famous
so
people.
happy I remember during this show.
So when you lived in Brooklyn, then you went to Coney Island a lot.
Yes, and Brighton Beach.
I remember my grandmother.
Brighton Beach.
Yes, my grandmother lived right there on Ocean Parkway, almost by the L,
Yeah.
the overhead L there. And
Yes.
we used to visit her, and she'd take us all the time to Coney Island and Brighton Beach.
Yes.
And we used to love doing that as a kid. That
Yeah, I
was
used
fun.
to go there.
Nathan's and
Oh, I did. Hot dog.
used to always go right underneath the L, the little luncheonette with the fountains and had the egg cream, chocolate egg creams. I used to love them as a kid. Remember those?
Yeah, actually, I do.
And Nathan's,
Yeah, Nathan's
the
hot
boardwalk.
dog. The
All that
boardwalk.
place unfortunately got hurt with the storm.
Oh, with
recently.
Sandy.
Yeah, they got clobbered over there, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I stopped going there for a while.
Well, just about 3-4 years ago, I think I rode the Cyclone again. I haven't done that since I was a kid. The Cyclone.
Oh my God, you're
roller
kidding
coaster?
me. You went on the roller
Oh
coaster a
yes,
few
the
years?
Cyclone. Yes.
I would be frightened. My stomach would come out.
Oh, I love roller coasters. I love roller coasters. My daughter does. We went about 4 years ago. We took a trip to Ohio to Cedar Point, where they have 12 major roller coasters in one park.
And you went on.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of fun. My daughter, we went skydiving together. My daughter and I.
Wow,
she's,
daredevils.
Yes, we like to do things like that. She actually likes to do things more than I do, which is scary. The latest thing, we were in Arizona a few years ago, and she ran off a cliff with a parachute with a parachute like on the back of her back and floated down. And I was like a little nervous on that one. watching. I didn't do that. I watched
Yeah.
her do that. I was a little nervous.
Well, she must get it from you.
We were,
Yeah.
when she was like 6 years old, maybe 8 years old, 8 years old, they have this ride, we were down in Florida, called reverse bungee jumping. And it shoots you up in the air on a bungee cord, it's like a rocket, and then
Yeah.
can't go any farther, then it shoots you right back down like you're free falling, like you're gonna hit
Yeah.
the ground. And she's like 8 years old, we're watching, she goes, I wanna do that, Daddy, I wanna do that, Daddy. I'm like, I'm thinking she's going to be too nervous for this. And we're watching. You sure you want? Okay, fine, we'll do it. So they strapped you down, and they filmed us. I should have brought the video with me.
Yeah.
It's a quick ride, right? We take off like a rocket. I'm stone solid like this, looking scared to death. And my daughter's right there. And the entire time, she's just like laughing, having a good time. And finally, when it calms down, I finally turned to see if she's like okay, because I was too scared to even like do anything. And she's like, hey, this is cool. It is really funny to watch because I'm all, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, now calm down. It's going to take off. It's going to be, calming her down. And when it takes off, I'm scared, and she's just having a fun time.
And you have it on film?
Yes, they film us. So I have it on videotape. I should have brought that. That would have been good to show.
You should put it on YouTube. I bet you everybody would love
That's
to
true.
watch that.
Speaking of YouTube, I think you said your show is on YouTube, a lot of your
Yeah,
episodes.
yes.
Now that I'm going to have to check out myself.
Yeah. Yes.
10 years, and you said you were doing this for 10 years, and almost every week you film a show, so that's a lot of shows.
Well, I wouldn't say that every week.
Okay.
But a lot of times every week, and then sometimes I just take off a month or two, or sometimes things don't work out and people don't show up.
How did you get involved in doing this?
Well, it's everybody's asking me how come, because I'm doing it so well.
Right.
I fell into it. I took a course in how to use the cameras, and after I was finished with the course, they said, well, okay, now you're a producer. I said, okay, I'm a producer.
So what am I going to produce?
Yeah, I was thinking, what am I going to produce? Yeah.
And you said, I'll produce myself.
Well, I just thought this, I always, excuse me, loved show business and people in the theater, so I figured I'll interview,
People.
Well, no, in the beginning it was only actors, just local actors. And then I ran out of actors, so I,
Now what?
well, I meet so many interesting people, so I just figured I could just interview anybody who is interesting.
Nice. I did do acting one time, though. I did a little production at Creative Ministries in Oakdale. Have you ever heard of them? Little
No?
playhouse in Oakdale. Creative Ministries. They've been there for quite a few years now. And I did a production of Funny Girl, and I played Mr. Ziegfeld.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, because I didn't have to sing, so that was good because I can't sing.
You mean you did a production?
I was the actor who played
you were
Mr.
the actor,
Ziegfeld.
you were not the producer?
No, I was an actor in it. My only chance of acting so far. I
Well,
really
that's
enjoyed it
good.
totally, and I would like to do it again, but with the fire department schedule and the
I was just
and
going to
the
ask you how
theater
much...
schedule, it's very hard to get them coordinated to be able to do
That
them.
was my next question. How much time do you spend as a fireman?
As a fireman, we work 44 hours a week.
That's a lot of hours.
So it's hard to work my schedule around to do a play because plays are every night. In the fire department, you work nights and days, so it gets tough to try and do things
And
like
then
that.
you have time to do, well, that's only one day when you shoot, right?
Well, no, on the acting, on
I'm
the play
talking
that I
about
did?
No, I'm talking about the show that you do with your cousin. How much
Yeah,
are you-
that we do only like once every other month. It's one day, like we're going to be here this
Once?
Friday.
Wow, that's
And we're
not
doing, we do
much.
2 shows at a time when we do it, so we'll be doing
Oh.
2 this Friday. And it takes, that usually takes us about 4 or 5 hours easily to do the 2 shows. But but we're definitely gonna have to have you come on and sing and joke. No, I'm serious. We're always looking for talent.
Okay.
You have to look into that. So before you became producer and have your own talk show, what were you doing before that?
Well, this was just a fluke. It's not that I was doing nothing.
Nothing. Just a
Nothing.
good old, mother and housewife.
Oh, yeah, I've done that a lot, yes.
Well, that's a lot of work that itself. So,
Yes.
and then you decided to try this, and that's
Yeah, I
great.
was always looking for things to do in the theater. I also write plays, and then I did a lot of play readings. And I mean, I didn't do the reading. The people.
So you've written some plays?
I have written plays, yes.
Wow,
And
that have been
it was
produced?
read. No, nobody wanted a producer.
Not yet?
I'm looking
No?
for a producer. Yeah.
Ah, maybe I have to read them.
Yeah.
I want an acting one. Dave wants to direct one. Maybe, and we've been looking for a writer for something. Can we make it into a movie instead of a play?
Yes, you can. It's
No,
very
then we need to
workable,
talk.
Very workable.
We were looking for something like that.
I don't want to brag, but there's a possibility that I have some sort of an avenue that Steven Spielberg may look at one of my plays.
Oh, that's great. That'd be awesome.
But, you know, you never know, I always say. Hey, you never know.
Hey, you never know.
Because I never give up.
No, you can't. You never know. You never know.
Well, it looks like my time is going to be almost up.
Oh, that went quick.
It always does.
It always does. Well, you're interesting to talk with.
Oh. And well, you're a very interesting person, as we said earlier when we met. We found each other interesting.
That's right, we did. At the ball game, and you'll be at this year's ball game too. I'll
Yeah.
see you again.
Well, I have to mention that Lupita did my hair just before I came here, and then I want to thank Bill Miller and some other people, my daughter, who contributed to this show, because it's not for nothing. We have to pay for it.
Yes.
And I want to thank all the crew, Stephen Blum for directing, and we have to say goodbye, parting with such sweet sorrow.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay, well, it is really interesting what you said, that you're really looking for a play.
We're looking more for a movie.
A movie,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I actually, if we can make it into more of a movie than a play.
You can do anything
know, 'cause
you
we're
want
looking-
with a comedy. You want a comedy or a musical? Because I have a comedy.
Oh yeah,
And
comedy be better. Yeah.
And I have written a musical also.
Oh really?
Yes,
Wow.
the comedy is really.
I just saw this weekend on Broadway a really funny musical comedy. Nice Work If You Can Get It with Matthew Broderick. What a great show that was. What a wonderful show that was. Yeah.
I don't get to New York.
It's just a train away.
Yeah.
No,